Hey guys, I'm Abby with Motor City Nerds. Remember to subscribe, comment, it really helps me out a lot. We're small, but we're awesome. Also go over to Movie Lovers Unite and check out the reaction videos I've been doing over there. I've been having a really good time. Check them out. If you've been over here on the channel for a while now, you know that Kingdom Hearts is, I played video games, of course, Tomb Raider 2, Resident Evil, all Twisted Metal, Crash Bandicoot, all that. Where Final Fantasy X is my favorite game of all time, and I will be talking about Final Fantasy also for the next couple months. Not strictly, but you guys know what I mean, because we have a ton of stuff coming out. But that might be my favorite game of all time, but Kingdom Hearts is what kept me into gaming for the rest of my life, and it will always have a special place in my heart. It came out in 2002, March 28th, 2002, so it's the 20-year anniversary, and that's why they're dropping so much. And the reason I say that Tetsuya Nomura is a psychopath is because I'm maybe not a psychopath, but he's at least a workaholic. Either all of this fits together, because there are times that I'm like, I think I understand what's happening, and there are times that I'm like, wait, I don't know, I don't know if I do. I feel like this man never stops working because they said 2021 we weren't getting anything. Like, we weren't going to get much from them. We got Sora in Super Smash. There's a ton of Kingdom Hearts shit that was coming out last year. And so it's like, if you're saying that was slow, but then, shit. I can't imagine what you're doing for the anniversary year. I remember being so hyped for it. This and Final Fantasy X, I remember the commercials on Toonami. I remember Simple and Clean dropping. It's like, no, this is a huge chunk of my heart. The thing I want to touch on real quick before we get into the really good stuff is that they have a Kingdom Hearts themed hotel right now in Japan where your room key is the Oblivion key, and I was like, oh my god, that is the sweetest thing I've ever heard. And when you get to your room, there's a chest in it, just like when you're in Traverse Town. I can't. Like, that would be the coolest thing ever. But check that out, Google it. It's pretty sweet. Interesting part that I read on Reddit, was that if you notice the dates, now, you know how in America we write the date different from everybody else, how they put the day before the month, because that makes more sense. It's like day, month, year. But over here we go month, day, year. But it's 104, and it's in Shibuya, Japan. So those are huge connections to Kingdom Hearts 3. I do think that some channels and some people online have hit the nail on the head, and that he is trying to make Virum Rex the game he never got to finish, essentially, which was Final Fantasy, was that 13 versus 15? Was that just weird title? I have the right numbers, though, right? Whatever, we're not going to look it up, we're going to keep going. But yeah, he was trying to make that, and that got all fucked up, and then they said, no, we're just going to shove other people onto 15 and crank it out, and look what happened there. I love the game, I love 15, but there's definitely some issues with it towards the end. Got that trailer, what, 20 years ago? No, I'm just kidding. How long ago was it? Like 15, 16 years ago? It was a long time ago. And then that production got all jibber-jabbed, and they made it Final Fantasy 15 instead of Final Fantasy 13 versus 15. And so that got all jacked up, and that was Tetsuya Nomura's game too. And so I think that people have hit this on the head, and that he's trying to make Virum Rex what that was supposed to be, because if you look at the characters in Virum Rex, there's a lot of similarities of like posture, the way he sits on the throne, the way Noctis sits on the throne in that original trailer we got back in 2007 or whatever. There's very similar characteristics going on here. I think he's trying to at least make something that he can phase into that game that isn't Disney related, and that might be Virum Rex, which I think would be really interesting. And I'm like, yeah, let this guy finish what he wanted to do. I don't know, as long as he can make it work. But there are sometimes I'm like, I'm either losing my mind or I understand Kingdom Hearts. It's just a lot to take in. Because like I said, multiverse, all that, I can, it's just like, there's so much of it. And then there was the handhelds. I didn't play the handhelds until they came out for PS3. Was that it? Or PS4? One of them. And I ran those through. But before that, I just watched them on YouTube. And that's where we're going to get to this. A couple years ago, they said they wanted to do a Kingdom Hearts Disney Plus show. That's huge. So they announced this years ago, and then nothing came of it. And then we got news of it last year, and they were like, hey, Square Enix, if you guys can do the pilot, meaning it would probably be CGI, which I'm fine with. I wouldn't want a live-action Kingdom Hearts. I wouldn't want that. So Square Enix was like, yeah, we'll make the pilot. And then Disney will see if they like it and if they're going to go with it. So I think that would be smart for them to do, if they're going to go the game, literally we're making one of the games a TV show, I would go with start at the beginning and do the handheld ones first. Because that's what people tell me all the time. They'll just go watch them on YouTube. I did that before I bought them. I was like, yeah, I'll just watch them on YouTube. I'm not about to run around and buy all this shit. I'm not going to do it. So if they're going to do that, I hope it's that way. But I don't think they should do that, and I don't think they would. And I just think that they should do something new, like maybe not continue the story, because obviously we want to play the game for that, but have something off to the side. And you have enough side shit going on in Kingdom Hearts that you could make... You could clarify a lot with doing that. You could clarify a lot. There's a lot you could do with that, and it would be really cool. So I hope that's it. But first, it got announced, then they said it wasn't happening, then we got news saying Square Enix make the pilot, and then we really didn't hear anything, but now there's rumors that the voice actors who do Donald and Goofy are signed on for it. This is what I mean. We have handhelds for all these different consoles. We have all this shit, and it's like, why don't you do the phone game, Kingdom Hearts Key, that you weren't going to finish in English? Why don't you do that one? That way you're not fucking around with Sora or Riku or bothering anybody that might not have played them all but wants to watch this show. If you did it in the very beginning, we would like that, and a new viewer would like that. I don't think they're going to do that, but because they already have Donald and Goofy's voice actors signed on, but that don't mean nothing. That mean they could do a flashback, but I think that would be the coolest thing they could do. Or something new. That's what I'm saying here. And I think they are, and yeah. So this apparently is still a thing. Also, to all my friends who have Switches, Kingdom Hearts is now on Switch. They just put it out, so go pick it up and play it. I don't want to hear any excuses. And for PC, no excuses. Play Kingdom Hearts. Next month, they are having this huge event. Also, oh yeah, that's the thing too. I don't think they said that E3 is happening. I don't know if that's official. I just saw it pop up this morning, and it was like, E3 is going to go all virtual. It's still going to happen, and it's like, that's a huge deal. Plus, I think, not to muddy the waters here, but you have Zelda shit coming out, and that shit don't play. So, and yeah, so I definitely think E3 is going to happen, but I think they said that it's going to all be virtual. I don't know if anything's official on that either, though, so don't quote me. But it just, like I said, I read the headline, essentially. At the Kingdom Hearts event, though, it was like Willy Wonka, like we only could like win a ticket to go, and then other people that were invited, obviously. But it's super long. Nobody's allowed to record or stream from it, so that means they're trying to keep some shit under wraps, and that they are going to release their own footage later. I think this is what I mean. They said last year was a slow year. So either I think this man is a workhorse. Like it's nonstop with this. What did they have? They had games come out last year for the Kingdom Hearts series. They have Sora going over to Smash Bros. It's like, okay, that's a slow year, and you had all these announcements and stuff for others. Like, oh my god, okay. I was 9 when the original Kingdom Hearts came out, so yeah, I know what it's like to wait for a sequel, a numbered sequel, and I know what it's like to be let down. But this is to do all of what they did last year and call that slow, and then have this be the 20-year anniversary, and have the dates that way, and have nobody able to record from it, and nothing like that. This tells me something big is happening, and I think it's either going to be, my top things are, if it's a fake out, like, I think even the fake outs are going to be huge, is what I'm saying. We're either going to get the Disney Plus series announcement, or we're going to get Virum Rex the game announcement, which it's like, okay, that's still really big, though. So if we don't get, let's say we don't get any of those, and we get a numbered title release, it's going to be one of those, or at least 2 of those. They are not going to mess around with this anniversary event, and nobody able to record it. They're not going to mess around. If they do, this will be besides waiting, 16 years for Kingdom Hearts 3? Yeah, I waited 16 years for a sequel to a game that's tattooed on my body. So yeah, I'm used to the fake outs and stuff, but I have a feeling that this is going to be huge. I think that they will either give us Virum Rex and the Disney Plus show announcement, or a numbered title, so Kingdom Hearts 4 and the Disney Plus show at the event. I really think that's going to happen. And this event is like 6 hours long. It's wild. If they gave us all 3, I would be shocked, because E3 still is happening, so they have to hold back for that. But then again, they could just be like, we have gameplay. They could have something crazy. Like, I don't know. But it's their anniversary. It's a big deal. And yeah, I'm like, either we're going to get all 3, or at least 2 of these things. Or maybe I'm totally wrong, but I really do think that they are not going to fake us out this time. And if they do, I think fans will be real pissed off, especially through the pandemic. Okay, let's get to that point. The pandemic. People are staying home. People are buying video games. People are doing activities at home more than ever. Why wouldn't you want to release titles and stuff? Why wouldn't you want to let that fan base know during the anniversary, we got a ton of stuff coming for you? Like I said, I think we'll definitely get at least one. I think we'll get the show and either a numbered title or Virum Rex, but not all 3. But if they gave us all 3, that would be sick. I wouldn't be angry with any of those things, though. I wouldn't be angry if they announced one of these things. Maybe a little, because I'm super interested to see what they do with the Virum Rex stuff. I really am. I also can't believe that this came out 20 years ago and I'm talking about it. So for the next couple months, I will be adding in a lot of Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy stuff into my channel. If you like that, that's cool. If not, that's cool. Check out some of my other stuff. I think them announcing any of these, even one of them, would be huge. And I think that if they announced more than one of them, it would be super huge. And if they announced all 3, that would just be crazy. And it's like, honestly, I could see them doing that for us, because how long they've made us wait for other titles to come out. And you know what I mean? I could see them being like, you want to know what? We made you wait before, but now we are giving you announcements right now while people are at home, yada, yada, yada. It's smart to do. Seriously? to make it 13 days after the exact date it came out. That's what I mean about him being a workhorse. It's like, not only are you making the products and running all this stuff, but you are strategically placing dates for things, and that's not the first time he's done stuff like that. But yeah, play Kingdom Hearts. It's great. I love it. It's my favorite thing. We're going to be talking... Oh, and follow me on Twitch, and I'll put all my links to my everything down in the description below. And I'm Abby with Motor City Nerds. I hope you enjoyed this. Subscribe. We have a good time over here. We're small, but we're awesome. And I'm still trying to get my footing with everything, so forgive me if it's not perfect. But yeah, let me know what you thought down below in the comments.